Those of us that have had some success are so lucky. And so it's just natural that you would want to give back and give back to those that are a little less fortunate.
If you can change the life of just one person in a positive manner, and that person will have the ability to have significant positive effects for themselves and their families in the future, I think that that's the type of legacy that we want to be able to achieve as a company. We have the opportunity of doing this. We go into some very remote areas. We make some significant investments, especially on the technical side. But we also don't want to forget that there is a very social aspect of our business, which is extremely important to us. And it's part of our overall sustainability vision.
Streettohome Foundation, our mandate is to help bring new creative solutions to address homelessness in Vancouver. Where we're different, it is really driven by the private sector, bringing new dollars, new ideas, and opportunities to collaborate with all the parties that are currently addressing homelessness for improved outcomes. And the donors we're talking about are individual philanthropists, corporations, and foundations. And this is where Goldcorp's generous gift of $5 million had a tremendous impact early on, because we were able to bring other donors to the table. So that leadership by Goldcorp was key. We were able to get our $26.5 million capital campaign closed out early in about 18 months. And that brings us now from that initial 8 city sites to 23 different housing projects across the city of Vancouver. Without that support and enthusiasm for the work we do, this wouldn't have been possible. Goldcorp's legacy with Street to Home is the impact they've had on over 1,300 vulnerable individuals, bringing those individuals home. In addition to the individuals being served by the Vancouver Rent Bank. And when we add those two groups together, it's over 2,400 individuals in Vancouver stably housed that wouldn't have been and would have ended up in this year's homeless count had Goldcorp not got involved initially.
In many of the communities we operate, we're actually the largest generators of wealth. We provide employment opportunities, we help to build communities, and as such, people look to us to take leadership in socially important initiatives within the community. It's fun, first off, to get together with friends and colleagues from across the industry, and I'm always excited to see how actively they're involved in supporting this initiative. And it is a significant component of BC Special Olympics' annual budget. It's upwards of 10% of what they raise every year for their programs across the province.
Our organization has benefited so much from Goldcorp's involvement, and that goes from everything in terms of the money that they raise. We're very proud of the fact that no person with an intellectual disability will be denied access to our programs because they can't afford it. Now, the only way we can do that is through the generosity of our corporate sponsors and individuals. And Goldcorp was one of the major groups to bring us into a new era of giving in terms of the amount of money that they gave and the flexibility that they provided to us and how we use that money. Through that, we've now grown our golf tournament to where we used to struggle to get teams to come, to where today we're sold out, and it's because Goldcorp was such a phenomenal sponsor in making the contacts and helping us make the tournament the one it is today.
I think that when we take a look at our overall footprint in terms of who we are as an organization, we have a lot of people who actually live in Vancouver, in the province of BC, giving back and actually actively participating where we actually live is an important part of what we should be doing as a company. And we want to give not just the organization the ability to do that, but also individual employees who are volunteering some of their times to actually get involved.
Goldcorp has really helped us make Active Start a major part of what Special Olympics is. So getting children started from 2 years old to 6 years old and active in Special Olympics way beyond what was ever happening before.
Well, Special Olympics hits about 4,600 individuals. They might be 2 years old, 3 years old, they might be 80 years old with intellectual disabilities. And then you have to remember, it's not just them, but it's their families that Special Olympics helps out. It's the volunteers who spend their time. And all of that gets together thanks to donations. And I can tell you, when Goldcorp stepped up to this, it took us to a whole other level. I mean, obviously they're a very successful major firm in mining, but it's more than that. They've had a tremendous reputation for their social conscience, their social action.
What's really special about BC Special Olympics is not just about the athletics, it's not just about the sports. For these athletes, it's also about learning life skills that improves their health generally and prolongs their lives, improves their standard of living. So it not only just equips them for the sporting events, it also equips them for life. So it's an integral part of building communities within these special needs individuals.
Goldcorp has for the last few years been a large part of our budget and funding. They do it without question. They've been always there, notwithstanding their industry has gone through a lot of turmoil. They've never wavered on their financial support for us. So it allows us to do really, as much as a lot of public see the funding side, it really drives our programs, and it's very important we keep these programs growing and build our athlete base is one of the goals internationally and nationally, to make sure we have more athletes that we're able to help serve and really get that whole Special Olympics experience.
See youth so excited for the games and excited for their sporting events. You know, I can just relate to their excitement. I'm excited for them. We have a lot of First Nation communities around all our mine sites, and to see the council and chief and the communities come together to recognize these youth that are achieving such great athletic abilities. It's something that we really value as Goldcorp, to support youth, support the next generation.
I feel proud because usually when we go to tournaments, we're usually the only Aboriginal people there, and it's a little intimidating at times, but then coming here, that just feels really welcoming.
It made me feel proud of my community, so it's pretty awesome to be here, and I still can't believe it.
Like win or lose, like Carrie's here. We're so proud, and we'll walk away with our heads held high with this amazing experience.
Our two First Nation athletes coming from Lac Seul, without our support and without our sponsorship, they would not be able to attend the games today. People come from large families, and to travel this distance to pursue something they've always dreamed of. These athletes have always said that NAG is the place I want to be, where I want to be playing my sports and where I want to represent my community. So to be able to support these families and just see the pride in their faces, it's incredible.
When you have 22 different teams coming from all across North America of Indigenous youth and hundreds of different nations, it's just a wonderful feeling to have them all together in one spot and to see those friendships and relationships that are being sparked and formed.
It's important because it shows that they want to be invested. They want to be invested in community, in the youth. We have that quality, that desire to have that top level. It's with sponsorship that helps us bring us there. We want to succeed, and so we look for those partners to help us get there.
It's part of their culture, I believe, to reach out and to get involved. And then secondly, they really do believe, from our perspective, that they have a role and the ability to make the communities that they live and work in that much better. And I just believe it is ingrained in the organization from everybody at every level.